Good morning, guys. What's going on? I want to talk about not micromanaging anything in your life. And this is to those of you that are always just freaking out about things not getting done. And those of you that are hard on yourselves for not getting things done. And those of you that are hard on others and your children and the people that you lead. And here's why I think it's not good for you, because micromanaging is essentially a sign of distrust, in my opinion at least, that when you are overly, and I don't mean, controlling variables. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying control what needs to get controlled. Micromanaging is when you try to control what is not to be controlled. And generally people, associate micromanaging with people that are very annoying, people that are overbearing, and I have been that guy in the past where I wanted to control the uncontrollable and the things that honestly you should let flow, because there's just things that will take care of themselves. Instead, what I recommend is you trust the process. That you trust the process, that if you put the right principles and systems in place, that if you do the right training, that you give people the right incentives, that you give them the authority and the responsibility to match each other, which you have talked about that before, that things will work out. This is also true for yourself. As much as I'd love to say that you should worry about every little thing in your life, which you should to some degree, I think it's futile to manage everything. Instead, focus on the big stuff. And the little stuff generally takes care of itself. I used to say little things matter. They still matter. But I'm not saying little things don't matter. How you do little things is how you do big things. However, if you only have a certain amount of energy and time in the day, which you do, what would you put your energy towards? The little things or the big things? Well, the same goes for the people in your store. The same goes for everything, your children. The same goes for your spouse. Your spouse might say, oh, this the little things that matter. And she's not wrong, he's not wrong. But what I'm saying is, if you did the big things perfectly, chances are they would give you more grace with the little things. The same goes for business. We talk about systems, right? There's a million things you do in a shop. I mean, let's be honest. There's so many little tasks from open to close that if we were to train on all of them, it would be good luck. I love seeing operating handbooks that are 3,000 pages, and they make great book doorstops, but nobody ever reads those things, right? Nobody ever reads those things, and then you might as well not even having that kind of a handbook is just as bad as not having one. I would say it's even worse because there's more bureaucracy and less learning. And a lot of it is, honestly, guys, not to go on a tangent, but a lot of micromanaging either comes down to lack of trust, which I think is the main reason, or ego, right? People are driven by just being right or telling people what to do. And if that's you, you need to stop. You need to really think about your life and really realize why you want to be in a position of leadership. If you think it's a privilege or a power thing, you've got it all backwards, man. Leadership is a responsibility. It's a burden. I mean, if you read anything about the philosophers, not one of them was like, you should go lead. No, it was like, leadership sucks. It's hard. It's gonna basically take from you. That's all leadership does. It takes from you. And sure, it has some advantages nowadays, right? Because you get paid more for leading people. But traditionally, if you were in a tribe and you led, yeah, you got some status. But most of it was just, you had to put the team on your back. That's what leadership is about. It's putting your life on the line before everybody else's. Leading by example, giving up everything first. It's being first. That's what leadership is about. And then as long as you do it properly, meaning you give up first and you show the example, you give people incentives, be the example, give them how to do it and give them the incentive to, meaning a reason to, and then you let go, man. You let people make the decision. And if people don't make the right decision, then they're maybe not the right people. Move on. But you cannot sit there and just micromanage people. That's if you're micromanaging people, you either got the wrong people, which a lot of people say I got the wrong people, but most of the time you got the wrong approach. And my biggest thing here is that you cannot train on everything. You only have so many things, and you have the ability to train on. And if you do the big things, like I said, from open to close, going back to the earlier thought, From open and close, you do 1,000 things. And if you just focused on the 5 main things, the fundamentals, the basics, that's what we call them, you will be fine. See, the thing is, in our stores, you'll realize that not every store is run identical. But the spirit is identical. The spirit is the same. There's brotherhood, there's teamwork, and there's taking care of the customer, and there's following and respecting the process. As long as they have that, I'm happy. And then the main processes have to be followed. There's some main benchmark. You got to get the car in fast. You got to quote it a certain way, and you got to fix it, and you got to make sure you QC it. And you got to write up the customer a certain way. And if you do those things, I don't care the rest of the details. I don't care. Like Zane, why don't you this store does that? That's right. I don't care, man. People have free will. You got to let them exercise it. Instead, what you do then, you give them parameters. You say, hey, operate within these parameters. Side note, and I'll end with this. Some of the best military institutions is the Navy SEALs. And you guys know I'm a big fan of how the SEALs operate because it's very intuitive. And one of the things that they do, amongst many that we also respect and follow, is that they give their SEALs a lot of autonomy. I don't know if you guys know, but SEALs don't even wear uniforms sometimes when they're operating. They'll wear civilian clothes. They won't even sometimes have gear. They'll go to the country that they're operating and they'll go buy their own gear. They have the freedom to choose because they trust them. They're high-level operators. They don't need to be micromanaged. So what do? As a result, because they have the right training, they have the right incentive, and they understand the mission, the rest of it, their CEO is going to be like, hey, man, you guys know what to do. And I've read stories of SEALs going in and just being like, all right, let me go buy some stuff and let me go, take this country down or whatever the hell they do. So I believe in the same level of respect towards my teammates, towards my leaders, towards my the guys that operate our businesses. I respect them. I give them the mission. I give them the authority, and I give them the training, and they have the incentive. And then I get out of their way, and that's worked out tremendously for me. And again, know when people are ready. If they're not ready, train them. Don't micromanage them. Train them. But if they are ready, get the hell out of their way. And there's that 4-quadrant thing. You guys know the people that are capable and motivated, you need to delegate to them. The people that are not capable and motivated, you need to train them. The people that are incapable or capable and not motivated, you need to motivate them. You need to inspire them. You need to coach them. And then the people that are incapable and unmotivated, you need to promote them to customers. So I hope that helps, guys. Again, move on. Do not micromanage. Micromanaging is a disease. And if you're doing it with your family, stop. Sit down and have a meeting and set the tone of where your family is going. Set the vision. And then hopefully they have enough incentive to listen and follow instructions so you can train them. And if they have also the vision and the incentive, you won't have to micromanage your children. And you won't have to micromanage your spouse. Now, I get it. Children are children. The training lasts a very long time, maybe 18 to 20 to 30 years. But micromanaging is not the same as training. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Thank you, guys. See ya.